So now we go back to analysis. So from there, we're going to create chart with this. Remember, the chart we're going to be creating will not actually, pick from here. So it's only going to feed from this, not from here. So this one is just created for we to use it to identify which is, current employees and, ex-employees, whatever. So clicking on this part right now, you don't need to highlight it. You can just go to the top level right here. You click on insert, and the kind of chart we want to create is this particular, donut chart right here. Beautiful. So I want to take everything off. I just want to go ahead and have it hidden. So we don't want the legend to show as well. We're going to take this off, and that is the one chart we want to create from this and have it duplicated into two. Let me show you how I did it. So I'm going to have to paste it in here. So why is not pasting? Okay, nicely done. So we've pasted this right here. You can decide to remove anything that has to do with border and fill color and make it as small as I want. So it's your choice, just make it how you really want it to go. So I can just make it a bit smaller. And I'm going to fit it in right here. I think this is cool. I love it this way. So the next thing I do now is just for me to remove the outline from here as well. So now I can just go ahead and Ctrl D to double this and try to bring this right in here. Right? So the same chart doubled into two. So let's see how we can make sense with this. So the first thing you do is to click on this, and I'm going to just double click on this part here on this particular color. So once what you've done is actually effective, so you're going to see the color appeared right here. If I click on this particular part right now, you can see the color has changed. So I'm going to click right here to activate the color. And I just want to change this particular part of it to a different color. So we are going to introduce another color right now. And the color is this right here. So this is the color code for red, for green, and for blue. Or you can actually use the hex code to get the same color we have right on our screen. So hitting on enter, we've just gotten it changed. And the next part we're going to change right now is this particular part right here. So we just want to make sure when we decide to make a change to that color, we want to actually try as much as we could to remember the color we're going to use. So let us go with this color. I think it's too dark, so we can go with something lighter. This one right here. Oh, better. So now once we've gotten that color, so the next thing we're going to do is just for it to come to this particular part here. Now we use the same color for this part. So click right here and come right here and change the color of this. Do you see what I've done now? So instead of me to create, separate chart, I just created one chart and I decide to change this and get what we want. So this is exactly what you need to do. There is no magic on this. So we change the color to this one here, which is this very one. So make sure you have the color appeared in this box before you decide to make any changes. So we're going to bring in another color. So we want to make sure we make the color to match and has correlation wherever it is. So now can you see this is our new color? I'm going to change it to this particular color right here. So this is how we have achieved this particular kind of chart of a thing. So now for you to know which one is this right now, if I hover over here, this is my attrition, ex-employees. And this is my current employees, how many employees I have currently in my organization. So those are not this particular number here doesn't depict the number of employees we have in our organization currently, but this actually tells how many employees we've actually gotten over time. You get it? So that is exactly what it is. So it is time for we to go back in. So to do that, I'm going to double this right here. I'm going to have it right here and go ahead and bring in the percentage that is peculiar to this. So it's going to be 17%. So we can make it as small as we want to make sure it fits into this particular part here. So we double it and have it for this particular part. So it is, if it's on 10, I think the other one is going to be on 9. Just change that part right there and we have it. So all you need to change is just change the row where it's sitting on the, on the column H. That is all. It's going to give you this. So it's time for we to format this to make it look lively on it. So we're going to select both of them. I think we can do them at once. So I'm going to go right here, go to home, and let's just put it on 18 and see. So 18 is fine. So 18 is fine. So we can decide to select a particular color like this color for it. It looks a little bit calm. So we don't need to bold it. We can just leave it that way. I think this is the first thing we need to do. So now we need to add some text to tell what it is that we have right here. That is better. So we don't need to create something new. We just want to go ahead and just duplicate this. I want to have this right here. So I'm going to take it up a little bit. So I can just have it double again and bring it all the way down a bit. So if I want to have equal size where it sits, I just have to go to shape, and I'm going to go to align, and I just want to align this bottom, and that is exactly what it is. So now we just have to make sure we hold the Ctrl key. We're going to have this plus sign. I'm going to drag it down. Once I have the plus sign, that's what I'm going to do. So just drag it down a bit. So something like this. So here I'm going to type in attrition, and I have to align this to the I'm going to go to my here. So we're going to put this on 12. So yeah, just want to move it this way. So it is time for it to just play around with this, and now we can just reduce this. I can give the same thing right for this. So right for this, I just want to go ahead and remove the total away from it. So for this one here, I want to turn this one into active. So into active. So which means we have to just align it again. Nicely done. For the active part here, all I'm going to do now is just to make sure I use the same color. So for the employees attrition, so I think I can put right here. So right here. So maybe for my attrition rate, I can just go right here, and I'm going to have the color change to this particular color right here. So can you see what it is right now? So this is exactly what we want. So we're not yet done. So I can just make sure I just move those right to this particular part, so we can actually readjust it later. So I want to bring the number that is peculiar to this particular one here. So we go back here, and now here is our ex-employee, and we're going to go back and just bring that in again, our current employees. So here is the value for our current employee. I want to go back here and make sure I just select it, Ctrl+1. Then from there, I'm going to go to number. I just want to take off the extra decimal and surely put separator. All right, if we go back right now, we should have something that looks just like this, but we're not really done yet. So we just have to give it nice formatting that is going to make it just stand out. So let's just go back to the top ribbon. I want to go with 24. I just have to select 24, and I'm going to go with the text type here. So I can decide to use something like this. So for 24, we are cool with this because on 24 and this text here is not really much. So we're cool with that. So on this one here, we have to actually stretch it to make sure it shows all our text. So I can decide to make sure it looks just like this. And we can just bring this right here, whatever we need to do. To make some adjustment right now, I just want to select both this and this. And we're going to just bring it this way. Nicely done. So we just have to do the same thing to this particular part as well. I can just do this. Then I'm going to go ahead and move it this way. And this actually creates this look here looking forward to seeing. And this is better. So this tells more story than just bring it into a card. I just feel like this is how many employees we have. So you have to make it some kind of looking very, catchy, and it's already looking catchy. So what can you talk about this? Let's proceed.